Hey guys, Scott here, and today I want to talk about flashlights and how I think they suck ass and should probably be buffed in some way. Now, before you freak out and say, "Oh my god," but I've been blinded by flashlights before, and they can make clicky sounds. They're OP. I'm saying this from a perspective of a somewhat not terrible killer. Because once you get good at killer, you know how to basically avoid almost every flashlight save. I'm not saying you'll avoid every one. I still get flashlight saved you're on like Rotten Fields or something like that, there's no wall to face a lot of the time. And sometimes you're just not paying attention. It happens. But for the most part, when any good killer sees a bunch of flashlights in the lobby, it's a free win because you know they're going to spend most of the match just trying to get sick montage flashlight saves and they're not going to do gens. And it's basically free game delay for zero effort. So that's the reason I enjoy seeing flashlights in my lobby. Ever since they changed the pickup timing to be much faster, it is significantly harder to actually get blinds on killers. You need to be in position immediately, and all the killer has to do, even if you're right in front of them, the killer just simply has to turn around, and you won't be able to get the blind in time. So I think flashlights are terrible. I've gone over this before in like item tier list videos and stuff like that. So I think flashlights suck. Now, I think there's an interesting change that could be made to flashlights to make them a bit more usable in the chase. Because let's be real, the only time you're using a flashlight is to get a save when the killer is locked in a pickup animation, or, well, that's really it. You're really only going to use the flashlight effectively when the killer is locked in an animation, meaning they're kicking a pallet or they're picking a survivor up. Those are basically the only options. You can also do it when the killer's hooking someone, but that's like, there's no point in doing that other than just being a dick, I guess. So I thought an interesting idea for a flashlight that I don't think would be too impactful, but it might help people and it could create some type of skillful use of a flashlight. So what I'm proposing is you can use the flashlight now at full speed. Currently, when you use a flashlight, you do this animation and you start like backing up slowly like that. So with this change, you'd be able to use a flashlight at full speed and you could point it in any direction. You don't have to just point it directly ahead. Now, this would change that whole tech where you click your flashlight to reset your facing position and try to spin, but you can't really spin anymore anyway with the new movement, so it doesn't matter. So you'd be able to run at full speed with a flashlight, normal speed, and you'd be able to freely aim it wherever you want. And by doing that, you enable a couple of things. For the most part, you're still not a killer can still have you right in front of him, and the killer can just turn around, and you still won't get there in time because you still have to run over there in front of him and then get the charge up time of the flashlight. So that change wouldn't really affect normal flashlight timings at all. What it would change is actually being able to use the flashlight in a chase. And the situation that I'm imagining is you're about to get to a window or a pallet, or you're going to get somewhere that the killer has to make a decision of whether or not he's going to double back or respect the pallet or go around it, or the killer has to make some decision. And now you can, as you're still running away, point the flashlight at the killer. And this will make the killer have to, look away just for a half a second. Just like, even a tiny amount of time. And the thing is, this is no cost to the survivor other than, the juice of the flashlight. But it still makes the killer have to look away for a second. And maybe in that time, you try something. You point the flashlight at the killer, he looks away, you head on, or you quick and quiet into a locker. Or, you vault something with quick and quiet and life, or you try hiding in a corner with Iron Will, or you just try something in that tiny amount of time that the killer is forced to not look at you. I think that could create some kind of fun scenarios where you can do something aggressively with a flashlight instead of just waiting for the killer to be in an animation of some kind. And it would, it would make flashlights, I think, not borderline useless. Now, I am saying this from the perspective of an experienced killer. So I understand that flashlights can seem scary to newer players, and for that reason, I'm just saying this is my opinion. I think that would just be a cool idea for me to go against, because then I'd actually have to be slightly scared of flashlights. Last time I was scared of flashlights was Instablinds, and that was many, many years ago. So I'm just saying this as the perspective of an experienced killer, that I think that would be a cool change to actually have to slightly worry about flashlights then. It might not end up doing anything, but in the end, that might be good because it'll give survivors something they can try, but it's not game breaking or changing that much anyway. So it's not going to be very polarizing. That's why I try to make it as tame as possible. But I think that could be interesting. I'm not sure how effective it would be. Might have to increase the range of flashlights, or you'd have to tinker with it a bit. But I think giving survivors some type of active participation thing that they can do with the flashlight in a chase would be interesting, and it's something I would like to see. Curious what you guys think. If you're gonna go and tell me in the comments you think flashlights are OP, I'm going to make fun of you, and I apologize in advance. It's gonna make me a dick, but flashlights are really, really easy to counter. I could make a whole separate guide on how to counter that, but I don't even have to. Here's the guide in 12 seconds. When you go to pick up a survivor, quickly look around you. If you don't see anyone, just wait for a second to see if anyone comes out of hiding. And just before you pick them up, turn around anyway. There you go. You're not going to get blinded ever again unless you're on like Rotten Fields. The end. Fuck, that was like 14 seconds. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it very, very much. And hopefully see you next time.